The law does not care about your hopes, your wishes, or your complaints. It rewards strength. It rewards definiteness. It rewards action.
Welcome to Napoleon Hill's Daily Millionaire Mindset, where we teach you the timeless principles that turn ambition into achievement. Subscribe today and start creating the life you deserve.
Stop lying to yourself. You're either winning or you're losing. There is no middle ground, and life has no mercy for the weak. You can dress excuses in fine clothes, call them bad luck, call them circumstances, call them timing, but they are still weakness. And weakness is punished. Look at the men who have built empires. Carnegie, Rockefeller, Ford, Edison. None of them begged for pity. None waited for fortune to smile. They declared, they acted, they persisted, and life obeyed. That is why they deserve their crowns. That is why their names endure. And that is why the crowd, still drifting, still whining, still hoping, will never be remembered. You may hate this truth. You may call it harsh, unfair, cruel, but the truth does not bend to your feelings. Winners deserve everything because they obey the law. Losers deserve nothing because they broke it. The man who plants richly reaps richly. The man who plants nothing reaps dust. It is not fate. It is not chance. It is law. So ask yourself plainly, are you winning or are you losing? Have you decreed your aim, persisted when defeat mocked you, demanded of life what you will have? Or are you still waiting, drifting, excusing, and envying those who moved while you paused? The choice is not tomorrow. It is now. You can remain among the weak, forgotten, and bitter, or you can rise among the strong, where no apology is needed, no excuse is tolerated, and every victory is earned. This is why winners deserve everything and why losers don't. Life is not swayed by excuses. It does not soften for the man who begs, nor bend for the one who delays. Life is governed by law, and the law rewards strength. The man who thinks with definiteness, acts with persistence, and demands from life what he has decreed is crowned. The one who drifts, who waits, who envies, receives dust. It is not cruelty, it is law. Weakness is punished not because life is merciless, but because weakness violates the order of progress. A field planted sparsely cannot yield richly. A man who gives grudgingly cannot harvest abundantly. The law is exact. What you sow, you reap. Strength sows richly, thought, labor, persistence, and reaps crowns. Weakness sows excuses and harvests emptiness. Andrew Carnegie began as a poor boy in a factory. He might have excused himself with poverty. He might have surrendered to fear of lack. Instead, he declared his aim, riches. He worked, he served, he allied himself with men of ability, and he demanded of life his fortune. The law obeyed him because he obeyed its conditions. He planted richly and reaped richly. Contrast him with the men who labored beside him in the factory. They worked, but they worked without definiteness. They planted effort, but not vision. They accepted wages as their only harvest, never daring to demand abundance. They died poor, forgotten, though they touched the same machines, breathed the same air, and lived in the same age. The law rewarded strength and punished weakness. Say this with me: I am strong. I plant richly. I reap richly. Life obeys me because I obey its law. Speak it until your subconscious accepts it as truth. Each time you declare it, you engrave strength deeper into your soul. Each act of persistence proves it. Each decision strengthens it. Soon your aura radiates confidence, and men trust you before you speak. The drifter believes he can cheat the law. He thinks he can sow laziness and reap fortune, sow hesitation and reap crowns, sow complaint and reap opportunity. He waits for mercy, but life has none for weakness. His harvest is dust. He envies the strong, but envy is no seed. He curses fate, but his curse is against himself, for he betrayed the law. Strength is not accident, it is a habit. It is built by definiteness of purpose, by decision, by persistence. Every time you refuse excuse, you strengthen yourself. Every time you act when others wait, you harden your will. Every time you demand of life, you build authority. Soon the law recognizes you as master. This is how strength is built and rewarded. The law does not respect titles, heritage, or circumstance. It respects only obedience. Carnegie was poor. Ford was untrained. Lincoln was mocked. Edison was ridiculed. Yet each obeyed the law with strength. Each declared, each persisted, each demanded, and each was crowned. The weak who surrounded them made excuses. The law punished them with obscurity.
Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Sit up straight. Pay close attention. If you can, grab a journal or open a notes app and capture the ideas that strike you. And if you want to get the most out of these teachings, don't forget to check the first link in the description.
Mark this truth. Strength is the only currency life accepts. You cannot buy success with excuses. You cannot purchase fortune with complaints. You cannot bribe destiny with envy. You must pay with definiteness, faith, persistence, and service. This payment the law accepts, and it returns crowns in exact proportion to the strength given. Therefore I command you, cease waiting for pity. Cease envying the strong. Cease excusing your weakness. Plant richly. Decide clearly. Persist relentlessly. Serve abundantly. Build alliances faithfully. These are the acts of strength, and the law rewards them without fail. Weakness is punished. Strength is crowned. Choose your harvest now. Say once more, I am strong. I plant richly. I reap richly. Life obeys me because I obey its law and grave it in your heart. For this is the law of strength, the first condition of victory, the foundation of crowns. Winners deserve everything because they obey it. Losers deserve nothing because they break it. Life bends only to the strong. The world is divided into two classes, those who act and those who wait. Winners act before conditions are perfect, while losers wait until every obstacle is cleared, every doubt silenced, every guarantee given. That day never comes. The law crowns the bold because they move. It punishes the timid because they delay. Action is life. Hesitation is death. Excuses disguise themselves as caution, but they are only fear clothed in reason. The man who hesitates says, I am being prudent. In truth, he is surrendering. The man who acts says, I may not have everything, but I will begin. Life crowns the latter. The harvest belongs not to those who planned forever, but to those who planted today. Edwin C. Barnes is proof. He had no money, no connections, no influence, yet he carried a burning desire to work with Thomas Edison. He did not wait until he had wealth or credentials. He acted. He boarded a freight train, arrived in rags, and declared his aim. His decision was definite. His action was immediate. His reward was destiny. Barnes did not begin in partnership. He began in obscurity, sweeping floors. But in his own mind, he was already Edison's associate. His aura radiated certainty. He acted daily with the conviction that his desire was inevitable. Years later, the opportunity came, and his persistence was crowned. He proved that winners act first and let fortune catch up later. Losers wait. They tell themselves, when I have saved more, when I have learned more, when conditions are better, then I will act. But those conditions never come. The years pass. The dream fades. Their lives end with excuses in their mouths and regret in their hearts. They did not lose because life was unfair. They lost because they waited. Say this with me. I act now. I move without excuse. Waiting is death. Action is life. Declare it daily until hesitation feels unnatural. Each time you act promptly, you strengthen your will. Each time you delay, you weaken it. Soon decisiveness becomes your nature, and men trust you because they feel your firmness. Life crowns decisiveness. Every fortune I have studied was seized by men who acted quickly and firmly. Lincoln acted decisively to preserve the Union. Carnegie acted decisively to expand his steel empire. Ford acted decisively to build his car for the multitude. Edison acted decisively to chase light. None waited for permission. All acted, and life obeyed. Hesitation poisons the subconscious. Every time you delay, you engrave weakness. Every time you excuse, you dim your aura. Soon indecision becomes habit, and habit becomes destiny. Men of hesitation are never crowned. They drift, they envy, they regret. Their harvest is dust. Action engraves strength. Each time you act boldly, you engrave courage. Each decision brightens your aura. Each step builds faith. Soon decisiveness becomes habit, and habit becomes destiny. Men of action are always crowned. Their names are remembered. Their harvest is abundance. Do not mistake action for recklessness. Winners do not act blindly, they act definitely. Their decisions are quick but firm. Their aims clear but flexible in method. Lincoln adjusted strategy but never his purpose. Ford refined machines but never his aim. Edison altered experiments but never his goal. Their secret was decisiveness in aim and action in practice. Say again, I act now. I move without excuse. Waiting is death. Action is life. Speak it until fear flees. Write it until your hand trembles with urgency. Live it until men recognize you as a man of action. For life crowns only those who move. Therefore, I command you, stop waiting, stop excusing, stop delaying. Decide, act, begin. Plant today, persist tomorrow, reap in due season. Winners act, losers wait. Life crowns one and punishes the other. The choice is yours. Desire is the beginning of all crowns. No man ever rose without it. No fortune was ever built without it. No empire ever endured without it. Desire is the fire that calls infinite intelligence to your aid, the signal that you were chosen for more, the force that bends circumstances, attracts allies, and sustains persistence until victory is inevitable. Without desire, a man drifts. With desire, he commands destiny. The world is full of men who wish. Wishing is weak, idle, uncommitted. It is a sigh, not a decree. But desire is not wishing. Desire is fire. It is definite, commanding, relentless. It consumes hesitation, hardens decision, and fuels persistence. A man with burning desire may lack wealth, education, or influence, but he cannot be denied, for his aura radiates inevitability. The law crowns him because he obeys its first command, burn. John D. Rockefeller proved this law. He began as a poor clerk, earning meager wages, but within him burned a desire not merely for comfort, but for control. He desired mastery of oil markets. That desire drove him to save every dollar, to study every weakness in his rivals, to persist through obstacles. His desire was definite, burning, relentless. It crowned him with empire. His fortune was not accident. It was law. Say this with me. My desire is fire. It commands me. It crowns me. I cannot be denied. Speak it morning and night. Write it. Engrave it in your subconscious. Each time you declare it, the fire grows hotter. Each time you repeat it, the engraving deepens. Soon desire ceases to be a thought and becomes your nature. Men will feel it in your presence, and they will respond to it as if commanded. Desire ignored becomes torment. The man who feels within him the whisper of a dream, but buries it under excuses, cannot escape restlessness. He may distract himself with work, with pleasure, with noise, but the torment remains. He was chosen for more, and he betrayed it. That betrayal gnaws at him until he dies with regret. His punishment is not from fate, but from himself, for he silenced the very fire meant to crown him. Desire pursued becomes triumph. The man who honors the fire, who writes his aim, who repeats it daily, who acts with definiteness, will be lifted. Opportunities will appear, ideas will flow, allies will gather. Infinite intelligence rewards faithfulness to desire. His aura will blaze with conviction. Men will trust him. even before proof is seen, because his radiance declares victory. This is the law. Desire commands destiny. Consider Andrew Carnegie. He was poor, a bobbin boy in a factory, yet he carried a burning desire for riches. That desire drove him to seize opportunities, to ally with powerful men, to persist until fortune bent. His fire did not waver. His aura grew stronger each year. He planted richly in service and alliance, and he reaped richly in fortune. He proved that desire is the crown of destiny. Contrast Carnegie with the thousands who worked beside him in the same factory. They labored as hard, breathed the same air, touched the same machines, but their desire was small. They wished for wages, not crowns. They drifted, envied, excused. They died poor. The law rewarded Carnegie's fire and punished their weakness. It was not chance, it was desire. The drifter lets desire fade. He begins with excitement, but he allows criticism, defeat, or delay to cool his fire. He complains that fate is cruel, but in truth he betrayed himself. He had fire, but he did not guard it. He allowed envy and fear to extinguish it. His aura grew dim, his destiny withered, his harvest was dust. He deserved nothing, for he honored nothing. The decisive man guards desire as sacred. He feeds it with affirmations. He strengthens it with vision. He protects it from fear, envy, and complaint. He acts daily to prove his faithfulness. His aura radiates heat. Men feel his conviction. Circumstances bend to him. Infinite intelligence crowns him. He deserves everything because he honored the fire that was planted within him. Say it again. My desire is fire. It commands me. It crowns me. I cannot be denied. Declare it until hesitation is burned away. Declare it until your heart pounds with urgency. Declare it until you can no longer imagine drifting. When this affirmation becomes your habit, your aura will blaze with fire, and destiny will obey. Edison desired light. He endured thousands of failures because his desire did not cool. Lincoln desired union. He endured endless defeats because his fire never dimmed. Ford desired a car for the multitude. He endured ridicule and lawsuits because his fire burned white hot. Each man was crowned because he obeyed his desire. Each man deserved everything because he fed the fire until destiny yielded. Mark this truth. Winners deserve everything because they keep their desire burning. Losers deserve nothing because they let it die. The law is exact. The man who burns, who plants richly in desire, reaps richly. The man who lets the fire fade reaps dust. The crown belongs to the faithful. The punishment belongs to the weak. Life bends only to the fire. Therefore, I command you, honor your desire. Do not silence it. Do not excuse it. Do not envy others who obeyed theirs while you betrayed yours. Write it, speak it, repeat it, act upon it, guard it daily. Feed it until it consumes hesitation. Then persist until it crowns you. This is the law of desire. This is the root of all destiny. This is why winners deserve everything and losers do not. Every man is tested. Every man is struck by delay, by ridicule, by defeat, by exhaustion. These blows are not signs of failure, but instruments of selection. They separate the strong from the weak, the chosen from the forgotten. Those who persist, who rise again and again, who outlast every obstacle, are crowned. Those who surrender, who excuse, who declare defeat final, are punished. This is the law. Persistence separates the strong. Temporary defeat is not failure. It is instruction. It is training. It is the hammer that strikes away weakness and tempers the will. Every empire I have studied was built upon defeats endured and overcome. Edison endured thousands. Lincoln endured decades. Ford endured lawsuits, ridicule, and betrayal. Carnegie endured poverty. Washington endured prejudice. Their greatness was not in avoiding defeat, but in persisting beyond it. Look at Thomas Edison. He sought to draw light from electricity. The world mocked him. Experts declared it impossible. He built thousands of prototypes that failed. Yet he persisted. He said, I have not failed. I have found thousands of ways that do not work. His aura grew stronger with each attempt. His persistence itself became legend. At last the lamp burned and the world was transformed. Edison was crowned because he endured. Now look at R.U. Darby. He and his uncle searched for gold. They struck a vein, bought machinery, invested energy, and dreamed of fortune. Then the vein vanished. They drilled further but found nothing. Discouraged, they surrendered. They sold their machinery to a junk man. That junk man consulted an engineer, drilled a few feet deeper, and struck millions. Darby had quit 3 feet from gold. Darby's loss was painful, but it taught him persistence. He entered the insurance business. Each time a prospect said no, he remembered the gold he abandoned. He resolved never again to quit at the first defeat. He persisted until no became yes. He built a fortune greater than the gold he lost. His crown came only after he learned the law. Persistence separates the strong. Abraham Lincoln failed in business, lost elections, endured mockery, and bore heavy personal grief. He might have excused himself. He might have surrendered to despair. But he persisted. He refined his methods. He strengthened his faith. He endured. At last, destiny tested him with the greatest storm a leader could face. His persistence carried him through, and his crown was secured. History remembers him not because he was spared defeat, but because he persisted through it. Henry Ford dreamed of building a car for the multitude. Rivals sued him. Experts mocked him. Financiers deserted him. His own men doubted him. He faced bankruptcy, ridicule, and endless obstacles. Yet he persisted. He refined his designs, rebuilt his alliances, endured his trials. His aura grew more commanding with each blow. At last, the automobile filled the world. His persistence separated him from the thousands of mechanics who began but surrendered. Say this with me: I persist until victory is mine. Delay cannot break me. Defeat cannot define me. Speak it as an oath. Each time you declare it, you engrave endurance upon your subconscious. Each time you act upon it, you strengthen your will. Each time you endure defeat without surrender, you prove to infinite intelligence that you are chosen for crowns. The drifter quits early. He calls it wisdom. He calls it fate. He excuses himself with fine phrases. It was not meant to be. Conditions were against me. I tried. He comforts himself with words, but life has no mercy for him. His aura radiates weakness. Men feel his instability. Opportunity flees. He dies with unfinished projects, broken dreams, forgotten by history. His punishment is exact. He betrayed persistence, and persistence withheld its crown. Persistence is not blind stubbornness. Stubbornness clings to folly. Persistence refines methods, but never surrenders purpose. Edison altered his experiments, but never abandoned the lamp. Ford redesigned his machines, but never abandoned his car. Lincoln replaced generals, but never abandoned the Union. The strong adapt in method, but persist in aim. The weak abandon both. Temporary defeat will come. You cannot avoid it. Infinite intelligence tests all men. It asks, will you persist when the path is long, when the night is dark, when encouragement is gone? The drifter says no. The chosen says yes. This test cannot be bypassed. It is the price of crowns. Only persistence pays it. Say it again. I persist until victory is mine. Delay cannot break me. Defeat cannot define me. Engrave it upon your soul. When the storm strikes, repeat it until your heart steadies. When ridicule mocks, repeat it until courage rises. When defeat knocks, repeat it until faith returns. This is your shield. This is your hammer. This is your crown. Carnegie endured poverty. Rockefeller endured hatred. Edison endured ridicule. Ford endured lawsuits. Lincoln endured endless defeats. Washington endured chains of prejudice. Yet each persisted. Each refused surrender. Each proved strong. Each deserved everything. Their crowns were not gifts. They were earned by persistence. Mark this truth. Winners deserve everything because they endure everything. Losers deserve nothing because they surrender quickly. The law is exact. To the persistent, it yields abundance. To the weak, it yields dust. Infinite intelligence crowns only those who endure. It punishes those who surrender. This is the law. Persistence separates the strong. Therefore, I command you, persist. Refuse surrender. Refuse excuse. Refuse to declare defeat final. Write your plan. Act daily. Refine methods when needed. Endure delay. Welcome instruction from defeat. Rise after every blow. Persist until victory is inevitable. This is the path of the strong. This is the test that crowns destiny. Say it one final time. I persist until victory is mine. Delay cannot break me. Defeat cannot define me. Declare it until surrender feels unnatural. Declare it until persistence becomes instinct. Declare it until your aura radiates inevitability. When this oath governs your soul, no storm can ruin you. No defeat can stop you. No enemy can deny you. You will be crowned. No man is crowned alone. The story of the solitary hero who triumphs by his own hand is a myth, beloved by the weak because it comforts their pride. But examine the lives of those who actually rose, those whose names endure, those who bent nations and markets, and you will find not isolation, but alliance. Behind every empire stands a mastermind. Behind every crown stands harmony. Behind every triumph stands unity of minds. The mastermind is not a metaphor. It is law. When two or more minds unite in perfect harmony around a definite aim, a new power is created. This power is greater than the sum of the parts. It is a current, an unseen energy, a multiplying force that no single man could generate alone. It brightens the aura, sharpens thought, deepens faith, and multiplies persistence. It becomes irresistible. Andrew Carnegie declared openly that his wealth was not the product of steel alone, but of alliances. He surrounded himself with engineers, organizers, and thinkers more skilled in their specialties than he was. But he united them in one definite purpose. Their harmony generated a current that carried them past rivals, bent markets to their will, and multiplied their fortunes. Carnegie's true genius was not only in steel, but in assembling and directing his mastermind. Henry Ford also proved this law. He burned with desire and faith, but his vision of a car for the multitude could not have been built by his hands alone. He drew around him engineers to solve technical problems, financiers to provide capital, and allies to support him. Most importantly, his friendship with Thomas Edison strengthened him in his darkest moments. Edison's encouragement confirmed Ford's vision when ridicule threatened to smother it. That alliance fortified Ford's persistence until victory was inevitable. Thomas Edison himself, though called a genius, confessed that his achievements were the fruit of cooperation. His laboratory was a living master mind, filled with assistants who contributed ideas, skill, and endurance. Edison directed the current, but the current was born of many minds united in one aim. The phonograph, the lamp, the power station, all were children of the master mind, not of solitary labor. Abraham Lincoln, though portrayed as solitary, was sustained by a cabinet of strong minds. Some were rivals, some were critics, yet under his definite purpose they found harmony. Their combined wisdom carried the nation through its greatest trial. Lincoln's aura was bright, but multiplied by the master mind, it became unbreakable. Without alliance, even his strength might have failed. With it, his crown was secured. The drifter isolates himself. He says, "No one can be trusted. I must do everything alone." His pride blinds him. His fear poisons him. His aura radiates suspicion and weakness. He exhausts himself in tasks others could perform better. He starves for ideas that others could provide. He denies himself the multiplying force of harmony. He dies obscure, a lone candle flickering in the storm. Say this with me. I unite with chosen allies. Together we command destiny. Declare it daily until your subconscious accepts it. Each time you repeat it, you weaken the pride that isolates you. Each time you act upon it, you strengthen your aura with harmony. Each alliance of faith multiplies your radiance. Soon men will feel in you the force of unity, and fortune will yield to your multiplied power. Do not mistake quantity for strength. Better one faithful ally in harmony than 50 in discord. Better 2 united in purpose than a crowd divided by envy. Harmony is the condition. Definite aim is the fuel. Without these, alliance is poison. With them, alliance is power. Guard harmony as sacred. Nurture trust as treasure. Defend unity as life itself. Infinite intelligence flows more freely through harmony. When men unite sincerely, inspiration flashes, ideas appear, courage multiplies. Many have told me that their greatest insights came not in solitude, but in the midst of mastermind councils. This is not accident, it is law. The Creator rewards harmony with light. The man who isolates himself dims his channel. The man who unites multiplies it. Consider Charles Schwab. He rose from obscurity not only by giving more service than required, but by his loyalty to Carnegie's aim. His harmony with his master multiplied his aura until he became president of the empire. He did not rise in isolation, he rose in unity. He proves the law. Alliance with greatness multiplies greatness. The mastermind is also the safeguard of persistence. Alone, a man may falter. United, men sustain each other. When one grows weary, another strengthens him. When one doubts, another affirms. When one falls, another lifts. Persistence becomes inevitable when men march in harmony. This is why armies, companies, and nations endure. It is not the strength of one, but of many in unity. Say it again. I unite with chosen allies. Together we command destiny. Speak it until it governs your choices. Seek men of faith, definiteness, and persistence. Avoid complainers, cynics, and doubters, for their aura poisons. Unite only with those who lift, never with those who drain. The wrong alliance is worse than solitude. The right alliance is power multiplied 100-fold. Carnegie's steel, Ford's cars, Edison's inventions, Lincoln's union, all were fruits of alliance. None were born of isolation. Each man was crowned because he multiplied his power through others. The drifters who surrounded them, suspicious, prideful, fearful, died unknown. The law is exact. Winners build alliances. Losers stand alone. Therefore, I command you, form your mastermind. Begin with one ally of faith. Share your purpose. Build trust. Guard harmony. Meet often. Exchange ideas. Encourage one another. Hold each other to account. In time, your circle will grow. Your current will strengthen. Your aura will blaze. Then fortune will yield, for it cannot resist multiplied power. Say it one final time. I unite with chosen allies. Together we command destiny. Let it engrave itself in your soul. For this is the law of unity. This is the multiplication of power. This is why winners deserve everything and losers deserve nothing. The strong build alliances. The weak stand alone. Life crowns one and punishes the other. Faith is the unseen guarantee of all triumph. It is invisible to the eye, but it is felt in the aura, heard in the tone, seen in the decision. Faith is the element that makes the difference between a man who endures ridicule and rises and a man who listens to ridicule and surrenders. Faith bends circumstances, summons allies, multiplies courage, and convinces infinite intelligence that you are worthy of the crown you seek. Doubt is the language of weakness. It asks for proof before action. It demands results before commitment. It hesitates, delays, and excuses. Doubt dims the aura, weakens decision, and poisons persistence. Faith is the language of strength. It acts before proof. It moves before applause. It decides before evidence. Faith brightens the aura, engraves decision, and fuels persistence until destiny is inevitable. Every man who was crowned carried faith as his shield. Abraham Lincoln endured years of defeats, mockery, and ridicule. Yet he carried an unshakable faith that the Union must be preserved. That faith steadied him when allies deserted and enemies mocked. His calm authority came not from circumstance, but from faith. Without it, he would have broken. With it, he endured and was crowned. Henry Ford declared he would build a car for the multitude. Experts mocked him. Financiers laughed. Rivals sued. Even his own men doubted him. Yet Ford carried faith. He declared, "I will." And his aura radiated such inevitability that his vision endured ridicule, lawsuits, and delay until it became reality. Faith crowned him with empire. Doubt would have punished him with obscurity. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before the lamp burned. Any man of doubt would have surrendered. But Edison's faith never faltered. He called each defeat progress. His assistants grew weary, but his aura strengthened. Infinite intelligence rewarded his persistence by supplying the missing piece. His crown was not built on genius alone, but on faith unshaken by failure. Say this with me. I believe, therefore I act. My faith is the law of my destiny. Speak it with conviction. Each time you declare it, you engrave courage into your subconscious. Each time you act upon it, you weaken doubt's chains. Each time you persist with it, your aura brightens until men trust you without knowing why. Faith is not accident. It is habit cultivated daily. The drifter demands proof before moving. He waits for certainty, but certainty never comes. He says, if only I knew it would succeed, I would act. But by waiting, he ensures failure. The winner acts first, and certainty follows. Life crowns the faithful because they prove their worth by moving without guarantees. Doubtful men are punished because they betray themselves by waiting. Infinite intelligence responds to faith. It withholds from the doubtful. When you declare your aim with faith, unseen forces align. Ideas arrive, allies appear, opportunities open. When you waver, nothing moves. Faith is the signal to the unseen. It says, this man has decided. This man will persist. This man is worthy of crowns. Doubt sends the opposite message. This man cannot be trusted. This man will surrender. Faith is built by repetition and action. Repeat your affirmations daily until your subconscious accepts them. Act boldly each day, even in small ways, to prove your faith. Each repetition deepens belief. Each act strengthens conviction. Soon faith becomes your nature. Your aura radiates calm strength. Men sense it and trust you. Fortune bends to it. This is the law. Faith makes winners inevitable. Say again, I believe, therefore I act. My faith is the law of my destiny. Write it on paper. Place it where you will see it daily. Repeat it until doubt weakens. Repeat it until hesitation dies. Repeat it until faith is your instinct. When this engraving is complete, defeat cannot stop you. Ridicule cannot break you. Delay cannot weaken you. You will be inevitable. Lincoln, Ford, Edison, Carnegie, Rockefeller, Washington, all carried faith. They were not spared trials. They were not spared defeats. But they carried an inner certainty that their purpose was right and their crown inevitable. That certainty bent nations, industries, and history. Their names endure because their faith endured. The drifters around them, full of doubt and excuses, vanished without trace. Mark this truth. Winners deserve everything because they believe before proof. Losers deserve nothing because they demand proof before belief. Faith is the seed of crowns. Doubt is the seed of dust. The law crowns the faithful and punishes the doubtful. There is no mercy in it. There is no exception. It is exact. Therefore, I command you, cultivate faith daily. Speak affirmations. Visualize your aim as fact. Act boldly without hesitation. Persist without surrender. Guard your mind from doubt, criticism, and fear. Each day you obey this law, your faith deepens. Each day it deepens, your aura brightens. Each day your aura brightens, destiny bends. This is the unseen guarantee. Say it one final time. I believe, therefore I act. My faith is the law of my destiny. Engrave it upon your soul. For this is the law that makes winners inevitable and punishes losers. Faith is the crown's guarantee. Doubt is its denial. Choose faith, and your victory is certain. Choose doubt, and your defeat is sealed. The law of success is exact. It measures what you give and returns it multiplied. Winners always render more than they are paid for. They sow in excess, and the harvest must obey. Losers give only what is demanded. They withhold effort, complain of injustice, wait for reward before proving worth. The law punishes them with scarcity. This is not cruelty, it is justice. Service beyond pay is not charity. It is strategy. It is the investment of effort, thought, and value that guarantees future crowns. The man who gives more than he receives today builds a reputation that opens doors tomorrow. His aura radiates abundance. Men trust him, for they sense his worth. Opportunity bends toward him because he proves himself faithful in small things. Charles M. Schwab began in obscurity, working for Andrew Carnegie. He did not calculate narrowly. He did not ask, "What is the least I can do for my wage?" He asked, "What more can I give?" His eagerness, initiative, and loyalty shone so brightly that Carnegie trusted him with greater responsibility. Schwab rose to the presidency of the Steel Empire. His crown was built upon service beyond pay. Say this with me. I sow in excess. I prove my worth before reward. Harvest must obey, declare it daily. Each time you repeat it, you weaken the instinct of stinginess and strengthen the habit of abundance. Each time you act upon it, you engrave faithfulness into your subconscious. Each time you persist in it, your aura brightens until men are compelled to reward you. The drifter withholds effort. He says, "I am not paid enough. I will give only what is required." His aura radiates distrust. Men sense it. Employers tolerate him but never advance him. Opportunities pass him by. He complains of injustice, but the law is exact. He reaped what he sowed. His stingy sowing produced a stingy harvest. He deserves nothing, for he gave nothing. Service beyond pay multiplies more than money. It multiplies influence. The man who gives more builds trust. Trust becomes reputation. Reputation becomes opportunity. Opportunity becomes fortune. Every man I studied who rose from nothing carried this habit. They planted richly in service, and their harvest crowned them. This is law. Carnegie himself began as a poor boy. He worked in a telegraph office, where he memorized signals and names beyond what was required. His eagerness impressed those around him. He gave more than his wage demanded. That service drew attention, opened doors, and lifted him from poverty to empire. The law obeyed his abundance. Contrast Carnegie with the thousands who worked beside him. They gave only what was required. They clung to wages as their only reward. They withheld effort. They died poor. They envied Carnegie's fortune, but they never imitated his habit of sowing in excess. The law punished their stinginess with dust. Say again, I sow in excess. I prove my worth before reward. Harvest must obey. Speak it until it governs your work. Speak it until you cannot imagine giving less than your best. Speak it until your aura radiates abundance. Men will feel it, and rewards will follow. Life crowns the faithful sower. It punishes the stingy. Do not imagine this law applies only to business. It governs marriage, friendship, leadership, every realm of life. The husband who gives only what he thinks is required sees his home grow cold. The friend who calculates every favor soon finds himself alone. The leader who withholds service loses the loyalty of his men. But the one who gives more, love, patience, encouragement, multiplies warmth, loyalty, and strength. Infinite intelligence respects this habit. When you sow richly, you align with the rhythm of abundance. Ideas flow more freely. Allies appear more readily. Fortune bends more swiftly. Service beyond pay proves to the unseen that you trust the law. In return, the law rewards you with crowns beyond calculation. The drifter scoffs. He says, "If I give more, men will exploit me." He does not understand. A stingy master may exploit temporarily, but the law does not. Another master will appear, another door will open, another field will reward. Service is never wasted. Every seed finds soil, every sowing finds harvest. Look again at Schwab. He gave more than his wage required. Carnegie rewarded him. But even if Carnegie had not, another man would have. The habit itself guaranteed reward. Schwab's aura radiated abundance, and abundance is irresistible. His rise was inevitable, for the law cannot be cheated. The drifter betrays himself by waiting for reward before proving worth. He says, "If I am paid more, I will give more." He waits, and the law withholds. The decisive man proves worth first. He gives more, he trusts the law, and the law cannot deny him. His harvest comes, often greater than he imagined. His aura shines, and men are compelled to trust him. Mark this truth. Winners deserve everything because they give everything. Losers deserve nothing because they withhold. The law crowns the abundant and punishes the stingy. This is exact, unchanging, merciless. There is no shortcut. There is no exception. Therefore, I command you, practice service beyond pay. Today, in your work, give more. In your relationships, give more. In your study, give more. In your service, give more. Sow richly, and your harvest must obey. Sow stingily, and your harvest will punish you. This is the law. Say it one final time. I sow in excess. I prove my worth before reward. Harvest must obey, engrave it upon your soul. For this is why winners deserve everything, and losers deserve nothing. Life bends to the abundant and punishes the stingy. You cannot escape this law. You can only obey it or betray it. Choose now. Life is merciless. It bends for no man's excuses. It listens to no one's complaints. It does not pity weakness, and it does not crown hesitation. Life is exact, like mathematics, like gravity. It rewards definiteness, persistence, faith, and strength. It punishes drift, fear, indecision, and weakness. This law is not cruel. It is just. It gives to each man what he deserves, and it takes from each man what he betrays. This is why winners deserve everything, and losers deserve nothing. The man who decides, who burns with desire, who persists, who serves beyond his pay, who builds alliances, who believes before proof, is crowned. His reward is not chance, it is law. The man who hesitates, who drifts, who excuses, who envies, who withholds effort, who isolates himself, who demands proof before belief, is punished. His loss is not fate, it is law. Look across history. Andrew Carnegie began in poverty, working as a boy in a factory. He did not curse his poverty. He did not envy the rich. He declared, "I will be rich." He sowed in excess. He served loyally. He allied with strong men. He persisted. He believed in his destiny. The law crowned him with fortune. Did he deserve it? Yes, because he obeyed the law. Now look at the thousands who worked beside him in the same factory. They labored just as long, touched the same machines, breathed the same air, but they drifted. They gave only what was demanded. They withheld loyalty. They excused their weakness. They envied the rich but did not imitate them. They died poor. Did they deserve more? No, because they broke the law. John D. Rockefeller desired mastery of oil markets. He saved, he studied, he seized opportunities. His desire was definite, his decisions firm, his faith unshaken, his alliances strong. He built empire because he obeyed the law. Men hated him, envied him, cursed him, but they could not deny him. The law crowned him because he honored it. Those who envied him but lacked his fire were punished with obscurity. Henry Ford was mocked as ignorant. Experts laughed. Rivals sued. Financiers deserted him. Yet he decided firmly, persisted relentlessly, and believed absolutely. His aura radiated inevitability. He built the car for the multitude, and his name endures. He deserved his crown because he obeyed the law. The mechanics who laughed at him, who drifted, who surrendered to doubt, died forgotten. They deserved their dust. Thomas Edison was ridiculed for chasing light. He failed thousands of times, yet his faith never wavered. His persistence never broke. His aura grew brighter with every attempt. At last, the lamp burned, and his name entered history. He deserved it because he endured. Those who mocked him, those who quit after a few failures, those who lacked faith, were punished. Their names are forgotten, their excuses buried with them. Abraham Lincoln suffered defeat after defeat. He failed in business, lost elections, endured ridicule and sorrow. But he persisted. He declared his definite aim to preserve the Union. He believed in it absolutely. He endured criticism, betrayal, and despair. But he did not quit. At last, destiny tested him with war, and his persistence carried him. He was crowned because he endured. Those who surrendered to despair were punished with silence. Booker T. Washington was born in bondage. He faced prejudice and poverty, yet he carried faith in his destiny. He educated himself, declared his purpose, built schools, and inspired millions. He was crowned with influence because he obeyed the law. Others, born in the same chains, surrendered to despair. They envied, they excused, they drifted, they died forgotten. Washington deserved everything because he honored his calling. Say this with me. I am strong. I act now. My desire is fire. I persist until victory. I unite with chosen allies. My faith is law. I sow in excess. Repeat these until they are engraved upon your soul. Each affirmation is a command. Each command is a law. Each law is a crown. Winners speak them, live them, obey them, and life crowns them. Losers scoff, dismiss, ignore, and life punishes them. There is no middle ground. You are either crowned or crushed, remembered or forgotten, a winner or a loser. The drifter complains that the law is unfair. He says, I worked hard, but I received nothing. But hard work without definiteness is drift. Labor without decision is wasted. Service without persistence is hollow. He reaped what he sowed. He sowed excuses, envy, delay, hesitation, and the harvest was dust. The law is exact. It gave him what he deserved. The winner does not complain. He does not beg for mercy. He does not envy. He declares, he acts, he persists, he serves, he allies, he believes. He sows richly and reaps richly. He deserves his crown because he paid for it. Life gave him everything because he gave everything. His harvest is abundance because his planting was abundant. This is justice. This is law. Life has no mercy for the weak. Mercy would destroy the law. If the weak were crowned, the strong would lose incentive. If excuses were rewarded, decisions would be mocked. If envy were blessed, persistence would be scorned. The law cannot allow this. It crowns the faithful and punishes the faithless. It bends to strength and breaks the weak. This is justice, merciless but exact. Mark this. The crown is not given, it is earned. No man receives it by inheritance alone. No man is spared the test. Every crown is purchased by desire, decision, persistence, faith, service, and alliance. The price cannot be avoided. The weak will not pay it. The strong will. The strong are crowned. The weak are punished. Winners deserve everything. Losers deserve nothing. Therefore I command you, rise. Cease excusing. Cease envying. Cease waiting. Decide, act, burn, persist, believe, serve, unite, sow richly. Obey the law, build your aura until men feel your inevitability. Demand of life your crown and refuse to quit until it is delivered. This is the only path. This is the only justice. This is the only law. Say the affirmations once more, slowly, like oaths before a throne. I am strong. I act now. My desire is fire. I persist until victory. I unite with chosen allies. My faith is law. I sow in excess. Engrave them upon your heart. Live them daily. Obey them without excuse. For these are the laws of crowns. Winners obey them and are crowned. Losers betray them and are punished. There is no mercy for the weak. There is only justice for the strong. Life has spoken. The choice is yours.
If this inspired you, subscribe and follow for more. And don't miss the other videos we've lined up for you. Keep learning, keep growing. Your next breakthrough could be one click away.